What if the simple words you speak had the power to unlock unlimited wealth? Would you dare to say them? Ladies and gentlemen, you have been told that life is shaped by chance, by effort, by forces outside of yourself. But I tell you, the secret of wealth, of abundance, of unshakable financial security lies not in toil, nor in luck, but in the words you speak. Words are not mere sounds. They are not casual expressions cast carelessly into the air. They are the commands of creation, the forces that shape and mold the very substance of your reality. From the moment you wake to the moment you sleep, you are engaged in a conversation with yourself. You speak words internally and you speak them aloud, unaware that with each utterance you are fashioning the life you live. The one who declares, "I can never seem to get ahead financially," is not stating a harmless complaint, but affirming a law that must materialize. He is casting a spell upon himself, ensuring that his circumstances remain unchanged. The one who says, "Money flows to me effortlessly," is not indulging in fantasy, but planting the seeds of a reality that must unfold. Everything that exists, every condition you witness, every circumstance you experience, began as a word, spoken from the unseen into the seen. It was first spoken in thought, then reinforced with feeling, and finally externalized into what you call your financial condition. If you would change what you see, you must first change what you say. If you wish to alter the flow of money in your life, you must begin by altering the words that shape that flow. The spoken word is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, between the imagined and the real. Consider the one who constantly says, "I am struggling financially." He does not realize that he is not merely describing his situation, he is perpetuating it. The mind accepts repetition as truth, and the body follows where the mind leads. The subconscious, which knows no difference between reality and assumption, hears his words and sets forth the circumstances to validate them. Doors that could have opened remain shut. Opportunities that could have emerged dissolve. Now imagine another person, one who, despite outward appearances, declares daily, "Money is drawn to me effortlessly. I am always in the flow of financial abundance." He does not concern himself with how it will happen. He does not look to his current balance to confirm or deny his claim. He simply speaks it as truth. And because he speaks it, the unseen forces of reality begin to shift. Unexpected income arrives, doors open, ideas flow. He becomes without effort a magnet for wealth. The great error of mankind is the belief that the spoken word is powerless. You have been conditioned to think that words are mere expressions of feeling, reflections of external conditions. But this is not so. Words do not follow reality. Reality follows words. That which you continually affirm must harden into fact, for the world outside of you is but a mirror of the world within. If you desire a different reflection, you must first change the words you speak. There is no need to beg, to plead, to struggle. The moment you command wealth with conviction, it is set into motion. Speak it as though it is already yours. Do not say, "I hope to be financially free." Do not say, "One day I will have more money." These words place your wealth in a future that never arrives. Instead, declare, "I am financially abundant now. Money flows to me now. Wealth belongs to me now." The subconscious mind, which governs all creation, does not argue. It does not question. It simply accepts and acts. You may ask, "But what if my reality contradicts my words? What if my bank account tells a different story?" And I say to you, does a farmer doubt the seed he has planted simply because he does not see the harvest the next day? He knows the process is set in motion. He waters it. He nurtures it. He trusts that in due time it will break through the soil and become the thing he envisioned. So it is with the words you speak. At first you may see no evidence. The world may appear unchanged. But if you persist, if you refuse to waver, reality must conform. Money will come in ways you never expected. Opportunities will appear where there were none. That which once seemed impossible will unfold naturally, effortlessly. And so I tell you now, guard your words as though they are the architects of your life, for they are. Speak not of lack, but of abundance. Speak not of limitation, but of infinite supply. Say, I am wealthy, I am financially free. Money comes to me in ever-increasing amounts, in expected and unexpected ways. Say it not as a wish, but as a law. Speak it with certainty, with finality, with unwavering conviction, and watch as the world rearranges itself to accommodate your declaration. For the spoken word is the key to all creation. And the moment you speak it, the moment you claim it, the moment you assume it to be true, the money must come. There is no power outside of you determining the wealth you possess. No external force, no distant authority, no luck or fate has ever played a role in your financial condition. The only thing that has ever governed the money that flows into your life is the belief you hold and the assumption you persist in. Wealth is not the result of effort alone, nor is it determined by the circumstances into which you were born. It is created by the unseen yet undeniable force of assumption, the belief that what you claim is already yours. If you assume yourself to be poor, you do not need to speak it aloud, for the world will bear witness to your inner conviction. If you assume yourself to be rich, you do not need to prove it, for the world will confirm your belief. Every dollar in your possession, every financial opportunity that arises, every condition that shapes your economic life is the direct manifestation of what you have accepted as true. The mistake many make is believing they must first see the evidence before assuming the state of wealth, but this is the great illusion that keeps them bound to lack. The world is but a mirror, reflecting back to you the state you hold within. If you say, I will be wealthy one day, you have placed wealth in a future that never arrives. If you say, I hope to have more money, you have declared hope, not possession. But when you assume without question, without doubt, that you are already financially abundant, the world has no choice but to conform. The assumption precedes the fact. The belief dictates the outcome. Look at the life around you. Every financial success or struggle you have experienced was not caused by random events, nor by external forces. It was shaped by the state you persistently occupied. If in your heart you have believed that money is scarce, difficult to attain, and fleeting, then your reality has faithfully followed. If, however, you have dared to assume that you are a magnet for wealth, that money flows effortlessly into your life, then this too has been made real. The substance of money itself does not dictate who receives it. Belief does. There is no need to work harder, to seek endlessly, to chase after wealth as if it were something outside of you. The moment you claim it as yours, the moment you believe with absolute certainty that you are already in possession of all that you desire, the outer world will shift to reflect that assumption. This is the law, unchanging and absolute. Those who are rich are not necessarily more skilled, more intelligent, or more deserving. They are simply those who assume themselves to be so. You have been conditioned to look at your bank account, your job, your financial situation, and use these as proof of what is possible for you. But you must understand that these are only the shadows of past beliefs, the remnants of old assumptions. If you wish to alter what you see, you must first alter what you assume to be true. The moment you take on the feeling of financial abundance, not as a future goal, but as a present reality, your world must reflect it. This is not wishful thinking. It is not a game of empty affirmations. It is the fundamental truth of creation. Every fortune ever made, every empire ever built, every success story ever told began first as an assumption. The wealthiest among you did not stumble upon riches. They first assumed they were rich. They lived in that state mentally before it took shape externally. And so must you. Close your eyes and feel now what it would be like to be financially free. Do not entertain the question of how it will happen. That is not your concern. Your only task is to assume the state of the wish fulfilled, to move through life as one who already possesses all that they need. Do you not see how the world must obey? If you wake each morning with the firm belief that money is yours in abundance, if you speak and act as though it is already done, then soon the world will reflect your inner state, and the evidence will appear without effort. Doubt not, question not, for the law is perfect. The one who assumes poverty with conviction will experience poverty. The one who assumes wealth with conviction will experience wealth. It is not a matter of fairness, nor of worthiness. It is simply the natural outworking of belief. The only thing that stands between you and financial abundance is the assumption you hold at this very moment. And you have the power right now to change it. Live in the feeling of already being wealthy. Walk with the confidence of one who knows their fortune is secure. Speak not of lack, but of endless supply. Assume it with such certainty that the world has no choice but to prove you right. Money is not something you must struggle for. It is something you attract by being in alignment with the belief that it is already yours. Assume now, and reality must follow. Money is not something you pursue. It is not something outside of you that you must chase, earn through endless struggle, or acquire by sheer force of effort. Money is a reflection, a shadow cast by the state of mind in which you dwell. The abundance or lack you experience is not dictated by the economy, your job, or external conditions. It is dictated solely by your assumption of yourself. The secret of manifesting money effortlessly is understanding that wealth is not created by action alone, but by consciousness first. You have been taught to believe that effort alone produces results, that if you work long enough, push hard enough, sacrifice enough, wealth will come. Yet, look at the world around you. Do you not see those who work tirelessly, yet remain in financial lack? And do you not also see those who, with seemingly little effort, draw money to themselves with ease? This is not a matter of chance, nor of unfair advantage. It is the result of the law in motion, the law that responds unfailingly to the state you assume to be true. To manifest money effortlessly, you must first rid yourself of the belief that it is difficult to obtain. As long as you persist in the idea that money is scarce, that wealth is for others but not for you, that financial success requires suffering and hardship, you will continue to create that reality. The mind does not discriminate between rich and poor, between struggle and ease. It simply accepts as truth whatever you impress upon it. If you accept lack, it will be yours. If you accept abundance, it too will be yours. The one who understands this does not look to the world for confirmation before assuming wealth. He does not wait for a raise, for a new business opportunity, or for external signs to tell him that money is coming. He assumes it now. He speaks as though it is already his. He moves through life with a quiet assurance that money is always finding its way to him. And because he assumes this, it must be so. The world, being nothing more than a reflection of the inner state, cannot help but arrange itself in accordance with his assumption. Many believe they must first accumulate money before they can feel wealthy. They believe they must first receive before they can act as though they have. But this is the great mistake that keeps them in a cycle of wanting. To wait for money before assuming wealth is to place the effect before the cause. The law does not work in this way. You do not receive and then believe. You believe and then you receive. You do not wait for proof. You become the proof. Look upon your world now and recognize it for what it is. A mirror, reflecting back to you the financial state you have assumed to be true. If you wish to see something different, you must first change the assumption from which you operate. You must train yourself to see abundance where others see lack, to feel rich where others feel poor, to know without question that money flows to you freely, effortlessly, continuously. The moment this becomes your dominant state, the outer world must conform. There is no effort in this. There is no force, no struggle, no need to manipulate circumstances. The moment you embody the feeling of already having what you desire, The unseen forces that govern reality move into action. Ideas, opportunities, and circumstances that you could not have predicted begin to unfold. Money flows, not because you willed it through effort, but because you became the kind of person who naturally attracts it. Most look at their bank account, at their debts, at their financial obligations, and allow these to dictate what they believe is possible. But to manifest money effortlessly, you must see beyond what is and instead dwell in what can be. You must allow the feeling of financial freedom to consume you so completely that there is no room for doubt, no space for questioning, no need to wonder when or how the money will come. You must assume with finality that it is already yours. The words you speak reinforce this assumption. If you constantly declare, "I cannot afford this," you are affirming lack. If you say, "I don't know where the money will come from," you are reinforcing uncertainty. But if instead you declare, "Money flows to me in ever-increasing amounts. I always have more than enough," you are speaking into existence the very state you wish to experience. And because the spoken word carries power, because it impresses itself upon the subconscious, the world will begin to move in accordance with your declaration. Do not concern yourself with the means. Do not attempt to figure out how it will happen. The moment you decide that you are financially abundant, the way will be shown. The people, the ideas, the opportunities, everything you need will be drawn to you. Not because you sought it with desperation, but because you became the person to whom it naturally flows. Money follows certainty. It gravitates toward those who expect it, who assume it, who know beyond question that it is already theirs. This is the secret. Not effort, not luck, not external conditions, but assumption. Assume yourself to be rich, and rich you shall be. Assume yourself to be financially free, and freedom will come. Assume yourself to be a magnet for wealth, and wealth must appear. The law knows no exceptions, makes no mistakes. The moment you shift your belief, the moment you embody the state of abundance, the money must come, and it will come effortlessly. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are, what you feel yourself to be in the depth of your being. The key to financial abundance is not found in wishing, hoping, or even asking. It is found in assuming the feeling of already possessing wealth. The world outside is but a reflection of the world within. And as long as you continue to feel lack, struggle, or uncertainty, those conditions must persist. But the moment you shift your inner state to one of wealth, ease, and confidence, the outer world will reorganize itself to match that assumption. Feeling is the secret. It is not enough to say, "I am wealthy," if the feeling behind the words is one of doubt or disbelief. Words alone have no power unless they are backed by the deep, unquestioned feeling that they are true. The subconscious mind responds only to feeling, for it does not reason, question, or argue. It simply accepts as fact whatever feeling is most dominant within you. If you feel poor, no amount of external effort can bring lasting wealth. If you feel rich, no temporary setback can take it away. Most people look at their bank account and react to what they see, allowing numbers on a screen to dictate how they feel. If they perceive lack, they feel fear, worry, and frustration, reinforcing the very condition they wish to escape. They do not realize that the bank account is only a reflection, a shadow of past beliefs, and that in order to change what they see, they must first change what they feel. The mistake is in believing that financial abundance will bring the feeling of security and freedom. But it is the feeling that comes first, and the wealth follows. Imagine for a moment that money was never again a concern for you. How would you feel? How would you move, speak, and act? Would you carry yourself with more confidence? Would you make decisions without hesitation? Would you feel a sense of peace knowing that financial abundance is your natural state? This is the feeling you must cultivate. Not tomorrow, not when the money arrives, but now. This is the state you must assume, for once it becomes real within you, it must become real outside of you. Every great financial success first existed as an unseen feeling within the one who possessed it. The wealthy man did not wait for evidence before he felt rich. He felt rich, and the evidence followed. The entrepreneur who built an empire did not question whether success would come. He lived in the feeling of already possessing it. They did not operate from hope nor from uncertainty, but from the deep, unshakable knowing that wealth was already theirs. And because they assumed it, it became their reality. There is no force working against you. The only thing keeping you from financial abundance is your own unwillingness to assume the feeling of already being wealthy. Many argue that they cannot feel rich because their current circumstances do not reflect it. But do you not see? This is the very trap that keeps them bound to lack. If you wait for external proof before assuming the feeling, you will wait forever. You must begin now, regardless of appearances. You must generate within yourself the feeling of already having all that you desire, and reality will conform. The way to do this is simple. Begin by entering a state of complete relaxation, where the outside world fades and only the feeling remains. Close your eyes and dwell in the sensation of financial freedom. Feel the weight of money in your hands, the ease with which you move through life, the gratitude that wells up as you recognize that all your needs are met. Make this feeling so real, so vivid, that for a moment you forget anything else exists. And when you open your eyes, carry this feeling with you, letting it become your dominant state. The world does not respond to mere words. It responds to the feeling behind them. If you say, money flows to me effortlessly, but deep inside you feel doubt or worry, then the subconscious mind receives the feeling of lack, not abundance. But if you speak these words and feel their truth in every part of your being, then the law must bring them to pass. The key is not in speaking empty affirmations, but in embodying the feeling of their reality. You need not concern yourself with the how. That is not your task. The feeling itself is the cause. The manifestation is the effect. Money will come in ways you cannot predict, through channels you never considered. New opportunities, unexpected gifts, sudden shifts in circumstances. These are the natural consequences of assuming the state of wealth. But you must persist in the feeling even when the outer world has not yet caught up. The moment you waver, the moment you allow doubt to creep in, you interrupt the process. There is nothing stopping you from feeling rich right now. You do not need money in your hands to feel the security, the freedom, the joy of abundance. You can assume that feeling at any moment, and the moment you do, you set the law into motion. The only question is, will you persist? Will you dare to feel financially abundant before the world gives you proof? Will you hold to that assumption with unwavering faith until it becomes reality? For as surely as the night follows the day, as surely as the seed brings forth the tree, the feeling you hold within must harden into fact. If you assume wealth, wealth must come. If you assume struggle, struggle must remain. The choice is yours, and it has always been yours. Doubt is the only barrier that stands between you and the wealth you desire. It is not circumstance, not opportunity, not external forces that determine your financial success. It is your ability to accept, without question, that what you desire is already yours. The moment you entertain doubt, the moment you question whether your assumption will materialize, you create resistance. You disrupt the natural unfolding of your desire, for doubt is nothing more than belief in the opposite of what you seek. To remove doubt is to clear the way for effortless manifestation. The one who understands this law does not waver. He does not look at his current bank account and allow it to dictate what he believes is possible. He does not measure his financial future by what he sees today. Instead, he fixes his attention on the unseen, on the wealth that is already his in consciousness, and he remains faithful to that vision. The moment he assumes himself to be wealthy and refuses to entertain anything contrary to that assumption, the world must shift to reflect it. This is the law, unwavering and absolute. Doubt arises when the mind tries to force a logical pathway, when it attempts to control the how of manifestation, but the means are not your concern. The moment you ask, where will the money come from? You introduce resistance. The moment you wonder, what if it doesn't happen? You create delay. The moment you seek reassurance, you reveal that you have not yet fully assumed the state of wealth. True assumption leaves no room for doubt, for it knows that the desire is already fulfilled. Consider for a moment how you trust the rising of the sun. You do not wake each morning wondering if daylight will come. You do not question whether the seasons will change or whether your next breath will follow the last. You accept these things without effort, without doubt, without needing proof, for they are natural and inevitable. This is the level of certainty you must cultivate in your financial manifestation. You must trust in the law as surely as you trust in the turning of the earth, knowing that the moment you assume wealth, it is already set in motion. The reason many struggle is that they allow the external world to dictate their inner state. They see temporary financial lack and conclude that abundance is far from them. They check their accounts, their debts, their opportunities, and when they do not immediately see change, they allow doubt to creep in. But do you not see? The outer world is only the reflection of past belief, a shadow cast by an earlier assumption. If you wish to see something new, you must persist in the feeling of wealth, even when the world has not yet rearranged itself. There is no effort in this. You do not need to force yourself to believe. You simply need to accept without resistance. The moment you claim wealth as your reality and refuse to question it, the process unfolds naturally. The only reason financial manifestation seems difficult for some is that they constantly shift between belief and doubt, between assumption and fear. They plant the seed and then dig it up to check if it is growing. But the one who knows the law does not concern himself with appearances. He assumes, he trusts, and he knows that what he has accepted within must appear without. You remove doubt by living from the end. If you had already received the financial abundance you desire, how would you feel? Would you question whether it is real? Would you wake up each day wondering if it is coming? No, you would move with certainty, with ease, with the quiet confidence of one who knows their wealth is secure. This is the state you must adopt now, before the evidence appears. The outer world is slow to catch up, but it must follow. Many believe they must first see financial change before they can feel wealthy. But this is the great misunderstanding that keeps them trapped. The feeling must come first, for it is the cause, and the physical world is merely the effect. If you can fully immerse yourself in the sensation of already possessing wealth, if you can hold to that feeling without contradiction, then no force in existence can prevent its materialization. Let go of the need to figure out how it will happen. Let go of the impulse to check for signs, to seek confirmation, to measure progress. The moment you do so, you introduce doubt, and doubt delays. Instead, rest in the absolute knowing that wealth is yours now. When you move through life with this certainty, opportunities arise where none seemed to exist before. Money flows in ways you never could have predicted. Doors open effortlessly. But all of it begins with trust. Trust in the unseen, trust in your assumption, trust in the law. You do not need external validation to believe. You do not need reassurance to persist. You need only the inner conviction that your assumption is true. And once you have fully accepted it, the world must bend to make it so. The moment you remove doubt, the moment you cease to question, the moment you fully embody the feeling of already having what you desire, the manifestation is inevitable. There is no exception to this. The only question is, will you trust in the law, or will you allow doubt to delay what is already yours? Persistence is the force that transforms an unseen assumption into visible wealth. It is not enough to momentarily believe in financial abundance. One must persist in that belief until it becomes an unshakable truth. The difference between those who manifest effortlessly and those who struggle is simple. The former hold unwaveringly to their assumption, while the latter waver between faith and doubt, between knowing and questioning, between persistence and hesitation. The law responds only to that which is sustained. There is no such thing as failure for the one who persists. The only way to fail in manifesting money is to abandon the assumption before it hardens into fact. Many begin with enthusiasm, holding the vision of wealth, feeling it is real, dwelling in the state of already having it. But when they see no immediate results, they falter. They allow doubt to take root. They question the process. They search for evidence before the seed has had time to grow. In doing so, they destruct the natural unfolding of their desire. The world is nothing but the imagining of sustained assumptions. That which you hold in consciousness with consistency must eventually externalize itself in your life. If you wish to manifest wealth, you must persist in the feeling of already possessing it, regardless of what the outer world suggests. If your bank account does not yet reflect riches, if circumstances seem unchanged, it does not matter. The financial reality you desire is already set in motion the moment you assume it to be true. The only question is, will you persist long enough for it to appear? The subconscious mind does not respond to fleeting thoughts. It responds to dominant beliefs. A man who desires wealth but continues to entertain thoughts of lack is like one who plants a seed and continuously uproots it to see if it has sprouted. He does not trust the law. He does not persist in his knowing. And so his manifestation is delayed, not because the law has failed, but because he has failed to hold firm to his assumption. The process is not instantaneous because the mind must be thoroughly convinced, and conviction is born from persistence. Many believe that wealth is the result of external effort, that they must work harder, struggle more, and fight against conditions to create financial success. But effort without the right assumption is wasted motion. The one who understands the law does not exhaust himself trying to manipulate the outer world. Instead, he assumes his wealth internally and persists in that state until the world reflects it. The world is merely a mirror, and the only way to change what it reflects is to persist in the new image until it solidifies into reality. To persist does not mean to force, nor does it mean to repeat empty affirmations in desperation. True persistence is a quiet knowing, a steadfast dwelling in the feeling of already having what is desired. It is the unshaken confidence that wealth is yours now, even if the world has yet to confirm it. It is refusing to entertain contradictory thoughts, refusing to be swayed by appearances, refusing to let go of the assumption no matter what. There will be moments when the outer world tempts you to doubt. There may be temporary setbacks, moments of seeming lack, circumstances that appear to contradict your assumption. But these are nothing more than the remnants of past beliefs dissolving. They have no power unless you give them power. The wise do not react, they persist. They know that what is now seen is merely the fading echo of an old state, and that if they remain faithful to their assumption of wealth, it must come to pass. The process is simple, yet few truly persist. Most allow themselves to be ruled by appearances rather than by inner conviction. They check for signs, they look for proof, they seek reassurance, and in doing so they reveal that they have not yet fully assumed their wealth. But the one who truly persists does not need external confirmation. He walks through life already feeling financially abundant, already embodying the state of wealth, already knowing that money is his. And because he persists in that state, the law must fulfill it. There is no power in the world greater than the persistence of assumption. No obstacle can withstand it. No circumstance can override it. The outer world must yield to that which is held within, for it is only an echo of consciousness. If wealth is assumed and maintained with unwavering faith, it must manifest, for this is the law. The only question is, will you persist? Will you hold to the feeling of financial abundance, even when the world has not yet conformed? Will you remain faithful to your assumption until it becomes reality? For those who persist, the outcome is certain. Wealth is not a matter of chance, nor of effort alone. It is a result of unwavering persistence in the assumption of already being financially abundant. Hold to that state, and the world will be forced to reflect it. The truth remains unchanged. Your world is a reflection of your inner state. Wealth is not something to be chased, struggled for, or wished upon. It is something to be assumed, felt, and embodied. The secret to financial abundance is not in external effort, but in the unwavering conviction that it is already yours. Feeling is the key. Doubt is the only barrier. The law is absolute. The moment you assume yourself to be wealthy and persist in that assumption without contradiction, the world must conform. It is not a matter of if, but when. Every great financial success was first a state of mind before it became a reality. Those who manifest wealth effortlessly do not question, do not seek proof, do not waver. They persist. They trust in the unseen. They know that the inner reality must solidify into external form. Let this be your foundation. Live now in the state of already possessing the wealth you desire. Speak, think, and act as one who knows money flows to them effortlessly. Do not be swayed by appearances. Do not seek confirmation outside yourself. The moment you fully accept the truth of your financial abundance, the world has no choice but to reflect it. The choice is always yours. Persist, and wealth must follow.